For round 4, we're going to continue using color B, and we are going to join with a standing double in any chain space. So I'm going to just pick one, hold the yarn behind that chain space. I'm going to wrap it around my hook. Oops, wrap it twice. I'm sorry. Wrap it twice around my hook. Insert. Pull it through, and then just bring that tail around to the other side. And then I'm going to make 4 more doubles in that same chain space. So I'm going to have a total of 5 there. And I work over the tail as I go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. Okay, I'm going to skip these next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to put 7 doubles in the next chain space. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's more yarn, and 7. And this is what I'm just going to continue doing all the way around. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, next chain space, 7 doubles. And when I get all the way back to the other side of the round, there's 3, 4. I picked up the wrong end of my yarn. It's not cooperating now. There's 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, when I get to the other side, when I work all the way around and I get all the way back to here, I'll put 7 in this space, and then I'll put the last 2 doubles here and then join. So I'll meet you there. Here we are at the end of the round. I've completed all the 7 petals. And this one, I'm now going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put in 2 more doubles right here. And then I'm going to pull up a loop, come from behind, and find that standing double, put my hook under it, pull the loop through. And then I'm just going to cut the yarn. I'm not actually going to feed it through the back loop over here because I don't need a chain 1 on this round. I just need to join it. And so when you get to the next round, you can work over that tail. I'm actually going to sew it in. When the tail completes a round, I prefer to sew it in so it's nice and secure, but that's your choice. So this is the end of round 4, and up next is round 5. See you there. For round 5, we're going to take and add our spike stitch round using our 3rd color. So this is kind of how it looks at the end, and this is what our completed square looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and start with these and put the spike stitch round on. So to begin, we use the 3rd color for this particular square, which happens to be sand. And I am going to join using a standing single, and it says to join in the 4th double crochet of any petal, which these 7 groupings are considered a petal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I'm going to start. And the way I do my standing double single is I just make a little loop over my hook like that, 1, 2, 3, and then I just put it in. And the key is you're holding it flat against the back with your other hand. If you have a knife hold like I do, if you have a pencil grip, you can hold it using your fingers. But with a knife hold, that's a little more difficult to accomplish. So I just do it this way, and I just pull it through, and there's my standing single, and I just bring the yarn around, and now I'm going to work over it. I'm going to single in the next 3 stitches. And then I'm going to put a spike stitch into the space between the petals of row 3, which is right here. So I'm just going to go in between those 2. And I'm just going to put my hook in, pull it up from the back, and then I'm just going to pull it up a little bit so that it's about the same height. And I'm still working over that tail. Then my next instruction says single into the next 7 stitches. So continuing to work over my tail, I'll just put in single crochets into the next 7 stitches. It's 3. There's 4, that's the top of the petal. There's 5, 6, and then 7. I'm going to keep working over that. A little bit of tail. And now I'm going to put a spike stitch into the space between the 2 doubles of row 2, which on this one is this pink row. So there's row 1, there's row 2. So again, I'm just going to insert my hook, and I'm going to reach around the back, and I'm going to pull it. Make sure I have enough yarn to do this. I'm going to actually pull it up kind of even with the row and just make a single there. Keep working over that little tail. And now I'm going to continue working what's in between the parentheses 2 more times. So I'm going to single in the next 7 stitches. There's 4. There's 5, 6, and 7. And don't worry about that little guy poking out. We can take care of him later. And now it's asking me again to do a spike stitch in between. We're going to go into row 3 because we're alternating a short spike stitch and a long spike stitch. So again, I'll go here, bring up, single, and then I'll do 7 again, and that'll bring me to the next spike stitch. And I'm just going to continue working these instructions all the way around to the end. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm gonna, this is my tail, I'll work over that a little bit and then I'll sew it in. I like to secure those a little bit better. But at this point, I'm just going to now make my next long spike stitch, and I'll go in between those 2, right? Make sure I did 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Okay, so I'll do another spike stitch, go in between, pull it up, and now I'll continue that 7 short spike stitch, 7 long spike stitch, and we'll alternate. And you can see it's starting to take on that flower characteristic. So I'll meet you at the end, right here. Okay, I've completed my last long spike stitch, and now my instructions say to single into the last 3 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then it brings me back right around to my standing single that I started with. And the way that I join this round is I just pull up a loop, take my hook out, drop my yarn, turn it over, and I'm looking for that first standing single. I want to go underneath of it. So this is my second single. So here I'm looking for this little V. I want to get underneath this little V right here. And it can be a little tricky to get your hook under there. If it's tight like mine is, what you can do is you can just go under it with your needle. And try the other end so you don't split your yarn. And you just pull that up just a little bit. You can kind of hold it there, and that helps you get your hook under it from the back to the front. And you're just going to grab your loop that you pulled off the hook, and you're going to pull that through just like that. And so now you're going to cut the yarn, because we don't need to do a chain 1 at the end of this row. We're just going to cut it and pull it through. And that finishes round 5. And now you can see there's just a little kind of invisible join there where you go from single to single, and it looks nice and straight and even. So that's round 5. So we'll do I'll be doing all of these, and then all the other colors as well. They'll each have a different color, like I did this one with the pink, and I've got more that I'll have with the blue. So next up is round 6.